take a while, but that's fine. All right. We are live and in color, everyone. That's right. So before we start this very, very special video, I thought I'd start it the only way I know how, with a little bit of the bubbly. Give me just a sec. Yeah, by the way, this is an energy drink, so it's not champagne. So I don't have champagne in my house. So sorry. But yeah, I mean, we're celebrating 200 subscribers today. What's up, John? Thank you for joining. It got me a little bit of the bubbly. So that's good. That is so good. That's good. All right. So welcome everybody to my special 200 subscribers Q&A. And let me go ahead and share the stream out real quick because I want to, have more people join. But we got 4 people in the house, which is awesome. So, yeah, but this is, like I said, for 200 subscribers, I have officially decided I'm going to do a little Q&A. And we are losing viewers, which sucks. So let's correct that. So let me just put this out everywhere. Let me just do that real quick because this is the life of a small YouTuber. But anyway. All right. Okay. We'll just do that for right now. But yeah, thank you for joining me, everyone. This is of course Sid the Nerdy Mark, and like I said, today we are celebrating 200 subscribers on the DJ Storm's getting ready for work. It's all good. 200 subscribers on the YouTube on the Nerdy Mark channel. So first of all, I want to say a big thank you to everybody for helping me get to this milestone in YouTube and whatnot. It's just been awesome. It's been awesome. I've made some good friends, and I've just learned a lot in the process. Yeah, and just made me even more proud to be, just made me continue to reignite my passion that I have for the sport of wrestling, the gaming, and comics and anime and stuff like that. So it really I'm so thankful. I'm so grateful. Keep up the good work. Next Top 300. Thank you, DJ Storms. I know you got to go to work yourself, but thank you for joining in and telling me that. I really appreciate it. Next Top 300. I'm just, yeah, absolutely 300. Let's do it. Let's get it. But yeah, man, I'm just very much overwhelmed with joy that there is at least 200 people who want to watch me sit in my bedroom and talk for at least 20 minutes. So yeah, by the way, we're back to regularly edited videos because I wanted to kind of just do that. I wanted to make live streams special. So I hope you guys don't mind that. So yeah, but like edited videos. And by the way, I guess I'll say it right now. What I'm planning to do for NXT when it goes on TV, so they're going on TV 2 weeks before AEW goes on TNT. So I will be reviewing just NXT for the next 2 weeks. And then I'm going to move NXT to Armbar Audio because I'm going to go NXT and AEW. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do reviews with Armbar Audio. It will be a part of Armbar Nerds, our collective effort. So it's going to be over there. Sometimes you may find those reviews over here. I'll discuss it with John and Tim if that's what they want to do. And in the place of NXT, I'm going to be reviewing NXT UK and 205 Live. So that's what the schedule change is going to be once everything happens. So I'm not even going to touch Raw and SmackDown. I'll get to that because one of the questions I had was something with which I can answer that. Excuse me. So Anyway, but without further ado, why don't we answer some questions? Okay, I got them all written down on my phone here. I'll take a little sip of the bubbly. Oh, that's good. It's actually a good alternative to coffee. There's like no caffeine. It's like caffeine, but it's like zero sugar and zero carbs, and also B12 vitamins. That's where you get the energy from here. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Anyway, so I actually got several questions from a few people. So I'm going to go ahead and answer. And by the way, if you did not ask me any question throughout this time, please go ahead. You are more than welcome to leave it, write it down on the chat, and I will get to it once I answer these questions. Okay. So let's get into some of these questions. I'm very excited to do this. I hope to do more of these in the future, but let's get to it. I don't want to beat around the bush anymore. So let's start with some questions I got from DJ Storms. He asked me a few questions. So the first question he asked me was, who's going to be the first AEW tag champs? Oh, that's a good question. Personally, I would love for it to be a Private Party because I'm kind of they're really growing on me, and it's not just because they remind me of like, they remind me of the Street Profits. I just think that they're a really good tag team. Whatever matches I've seen so far have been just amazing. So I thought this was some good stuff here, and they just do a good job. I love Private Party. However, I do feel that they might go with the Bucks for right now. They might go with the Young Bucks, and then down the line, Private Party will take the titles off of the Young Bucks. Maybe not the Private Party, but I would say maybe even Santina and Ortiz could probably take them. Santana and Ortiz, not Santina. Sorry, Santana and Ortiz could take them off of that because they're not called LAX anymore on AEW. They're called PNP or something like that. But anyway, I would love it for it to be like either Santana and Ortiz or Private Party. But I do feel like it's going to be the Young Bucks. So, because, they lost the AAA tag titles, and I think that the Lucha Bros, they're going to go back to AAA and they're going to drop it to some tag team and come back with full-time contracts with AEW. So, that could be interesting. So, but I think the first tag team to get the AEW tag titles are going to be the Young Bucks. That's just my thinking, but we'll see. We'll wait until October. So, the other question, where will Tessa Blanchard go in 2020? Wow. I think the obvious answer would be AEW, but, I wouldn't mind seeing her in NXT, frankly. There are dream matches for me on both brands. Like, for example, I would love to see Tessa Blanchard taking on Shayna Baszler. Now that Rhea Ripley's on NXT, Tessa versus Rhea, that would be amazing. Tessa versus Toni Storm, Tessa versus Piper Niven would be good. Tessa versus Mia Yim, I would not mind seeing that either. Tessa Blanchard versus Io Shirai, that would be really, really good. I would love to see a match between her and Io Shirai. I would love to see Tessa versus any of the horsewomen, but especially Charlotte. That's the dream match for me. Tessa Blanchard versus Charlotte. I think, and even in that match, maybe Ric Flair is on Charlotte's corner and Tully Blanchard is on Tessa's corner. I'd like to see that. But even on AEW, I think Tessa versus Nyla, Tessa versus Awesome Kong, Tessa Blanchard versus Britt Baker, Tessa Blanchard versus Bea Priestley. So, yeah, I mean, both are viable options. I don't really know where exactly I want to see her go. Is that there's great matches on both brands. So, sorry. I'm just excited for the prospect of Tessa Blanchard in 2020. I think this woman has a very bright future. She calls herself the Diamond, so obviously go figure. But, yeah, I think, though, I do feel like she's going to go to AEW. But then again, she could go to WWE just to contest her father's legacy in WWE because, let's face it, I mean, from what I've seen, they don't really talk much about Tully Blanchard. Even when he wasn't doing the thing with Shawn Spears, they never really talked much about Tully Blanchard. So, I don't know. We'll see. But I think she might go to WWE just to have a just maybe because they maybe want to build her and Charlotte up for a match. That would be fine. AEW would be fine too because, like I said, there's her and Awesome Kong, her and Britt Baker, who do have history because they were in that Four Corners match and All In. So you never know because Chelsea Green was in that match too, and she went to NXT. But at that time, there was no AEW, so I don't know. Maybe if there was AEW, she would have gone there. I'm not sure, but I think for now, well, time will tell. But I personally would not mind seeing her in NXT. I actually kind of want to see her in NXT. I just do, but um, yeah, that's kind of what I think about Tessa Blanchard. And then he asks, do you think adding a sixth takeover would be good? Personally, I would love. I am personally fine with adding all the with having takeovers at during the Big Five, but when NXT goes live on USA, they're basically their own brand now. I think they should just do their own thing. So I would not mind how many ever pay per views they want to have 5 pay-per-views, 6 pay-per-views, it doesn't matter. But it doesn't necessarily need to be connected to a Big Five pay-per-view. It doesn't need to be connected to WrestleMania or SummerSlam or Rumble or whatever. I think they should just kind of completely break off the format of before the Big Five pay-per-view, we need to have a takeover. I think that takeovers should be their own thing, because up until now, if they want to continue to be like the alternative to the main roster, they need to start doing something different. Okay. And the thing is, yeah, they're doing a lot of things different. Absolutely. Which is why I love NXT. And it's like my favorite brand on WWE, as I'm sure it is many people's. But I think that if TakeOver could they kind of have their own thing during TakeOver? If they do like their own takeovers, not necessarily attached to WWE's full main roster schedule, I think that would make them differentiate themselves even more. For example, look at NXT Takeover Cardiff. There was no Big Five pay-per-view on Sunday. I mean, of course, they did it to combat All Out, but there was no big takeover. There was no big Big Five takeover on Big Five pay-per-view right after. They did their own thing. How come NXT UK is doing their own thing, but NXT has to wait until a Big Five pay-per-view to have a takeover? I think takeovers should be their own thing, and so that we just get more of these big, huge matches. That's just my opinion. Like I love Takeover 25 because it was, first of all, I mean, of course, I know it's the 25th anniversary and it's a 20. I think that Takeover was just an inkling of what we can see if once NXT goes live and kind of just becomes their own brand and does their own thing. I think Triple H needs to just play his own game. No pun intended. But I would just love to see more takeovers. Does it mean adding a sixth takeover? I'm not sure. I don't mind just seeing 4 takeovers. I wouldn't mind seeing. I'm okay with 5 takeovers a year. I just want them to kind of do their own thing, though. They don't need to be. They don't need to be. Attached to a Big Five pay-per-view. So that's my. Hopefully that answers your question, DJ. So I have a similar question from Tim Farley, so I'm going to answer it when I get to Tim's question. So, but I'm going to go. Well, you know what? I'll answer it now. So, what inspired you to start a YouTube channel? Now, Tim actually did ask a similar question. So, Tim, hopefully, if you're watching, this is your me answering your question as well. So, so I was actually going to wait until I got to the 1,000 subscriber mark to tell you my full story and where I came from and who really is the man behind the Nerdy Mark channel. But I guess I'll talk a little bit about it now. But for those who don't know, I am from Texas. I've lived here for 10 years, honestly. God, I feel old. But I had a job in Baton Rouge, Louisiana for about a year. Scientist Alif Frumi. Hi, how are you doing? um, and by the way, so Ali Fruby, if you have any questions for me at all, you can go ahead and drop them in the chat. I'm answering some questions that have already been asked to me, but you're more than welcome to type out a question in the chat, and I'll get to it once I'm finished with these. So, anyway, but I actually was working as in a full-time job over there for a large software company. I'm not going to say the name of it because I don't want y'all to go and find out or whatever. But I worked there for about a year, and then some things happened, and I actually got fired from that job. Came back, moved in with my parents. This is my parents' house. It's not even though I'm drinking a little bit of the bubbly, it's not a palatial estate. We'll get there. We're getting there. Don't worry. But, I wanted to I've always wanted to start a YouTube channel, frankly. Always had ideas. Like I remember in the beginning, I wanted to do something with music because we're a huge musical family, but that didn't go well. I wanted to be heavily involved in that. I also wanted to make films, which fun fact, I've made a couple of short films before. And if you want to see them, please privately message me. So anyway, I wanted to basically talk about something, and I had actually taken a class in pre-production in college, and that kind of helped me really open up my mind. And when every time I watch a movie or watch a TV show, I'm really thinking about it from a very critical standpoint. So I started talking about those things, and then I'm just because I was always big into superheroes at the time, so I wanted to make this a full-fledged comic book channel. And then I started getting into pro wrestling, and then that's where it became more of a wrestling channel. But yeah, so I think it just, but I was inspired honestly by my mom and dad. They actually do a lot of music as well. Matter of fact, my mom last week, she was in a singing contest and won the first prize. So awesome. Congratulations, Mom. She's a phenomenal singer. So, that's why. But, I think that she definitely inspired me a lot because she said, if you really are passionate about something or have some sort of talent, you should absolutely put it out there. If you love something, just put it out into the world, share it with the world. And that kind of really resonated with me. And then after that, I also watch a show called Hot Ones. It's the show with hotter questions and even hotter wings. And in that, one of the guests was Gary Vaynerchuk. For those who if you don't know who he is, he's like kind of like Tony Robbins in a way, kind of like one of those guys who makes a lot of money and then, does seminars and teaches you how to, and then you got to pay like a crap ton of money, and then he'll teach you how to do what he did, right? But so he had some good points in that interview. He pulled out his phone. He's like, look, everything is here now. Everything is here. You just have to capitalize on it. And